Everyone, welcome on back. And I am your host, Stephen Norris, and as always, my co-host, Michael Dial, Megastar Financial. And today, we're giving you guys a little economic update. We're going to be giving you guys an update about Colorado as the state, and then also the U.S. as a whole macro level, all right? So on the real estate side, from the macro level, chief economist Lawrence Yun, he is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, and they said that over the year of 2021, they measured 183 different markets, and almost all of them, 99% to be exact, rose in appreciation. So what can the number be? 1%, 2%, 50%? We won't know, but they measured all of the markets like that, and 99% rose in appreciation. And out of the 99%, 78% appreciated double digits. That's a massive number to know. And going along with that into Colorado rose between 15 and 22% as an entire state. Now, obviously, there are certain pockets that rose much more or not as much because, remember, we're looking at all the data. We're aggregating lots and lots of data points, all right? As an example, Summit County, Colorado, the towns like Breckenridge, Keystone, Copper, that average house price went 40%, which sounds ridiculous, and some would argue that it is, and some would argue that's not high enough. But that just goes to show that some of the markets are growing very healthily. And I know that a really big talking point across the U.S. is, are we headed for a bubble? Things like that. And although we have seen across the entire country in terms of it could go either way right now in terms of what's coming down the pipeline, our state of Colorado has done, in our opinion, a tremendous job fortifying itself. We've done a lot of good things as an entire state and as legislation to make sure that we are buffering and building ourselves stronger. So obviously that's just our personal opinion, but all the data points show that Colorado is still a very strong state to either buy real estate, sell real estate, or invest in real estate in terms of residential, land development, or commercial, right? I know Michael has some other updates for us on the financing side too.
Yeah, so what great information that is. And that's really what we're seeing right now is such increase in property value. It's crazy. And from what I'm hearing, the economists that I've heard speak, Stephen, they're saying that this is not going to stop, that this is going to continue to be that way because our infrastructure across the entire United States is way behind. And they're talking maybe, when I heard them talk at the beginning of last year, and earlier this year, they're talking anywhere from 8 to 10 years behind. So right now we're dealing with a market that's really talking about supply and demand, not like the housing bubble with increased values as we saw in the early 2000s. So this is a great time to be a homeowner because we're going to continue to see this growth because right now we just have more people than we have homes available. Talking about that, for the fact of everything and the home value and prices increasing, our new loan limits for 2021, conventional loan limit has gone up to $625,000. So our high balance loan was $596,850 last year. So that has risen up quite a bit, and they're still working out exactly what that's going to entail for everybody else. So as we get those updates a little bit more and they finalize things, we'll be sharing that. But right now, here at Megastar, we do have a few products starting to go ahead and use that new conforming loan limit because, as you know, Stephen, we've seen a lot of that increase in value in our homes. We're calling people that you and I helped last year. That bought homes in that $400,000 range, and now their home's worth well over closer to 520. So it's pretty impressive about what's gone on in our market over the last year. Things right now to be concerned about, right? We've got a holiday coming up, so our interest rates are kind of going up a little bit right now. And the things that are kind of matter to the bond market is inflation, global central bank policies, the course of the pandemic, of course, because that's really been a big factor for a long time, in the economy in certain parts, and to a lesser extent, the fiscal, pollution, other news from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So, and what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a pretty good increase in our interest rates, but I think they'll definitely level out a little bit after the holiday and maybe rebound a little bit. Our 10-year right now today is at, I do believe, I'm going to take a peek at my monitor, at 1.618, which is sticking with our Friday trend of last week. But so right now, inflation is definitely hitting our interest rates and bond market and starting to drive those interest rates up. So what does that mean to you as a home buyer? That means as interest rates go up and our values in homes go up, you're going to be able to afford not quite as much home as what you could earlier this year. So make sure that you're talking with your local lender that's really following the market. Everybody should have some kind of information as a lender, knowing what kind of where the market's trending. If we all knew exactly what the market was doing, none of us would be working, right? Yeah. We'd all be taking it easy and investing in the market. So those things definitely can change, but make sure you're talking to your lender and actually getting some good information, so that way you can make a more informed decision about the time to buy and when to lock and such. Feel free to always reach out to Stephen and myself. We're always happy to chat with you and tell you about what we think the market's going to do.
That's fantastic information. And so, guys, really thank you guys for tuning into all of these videos, and make sure that whenever you guys have questions that you want to learn more about, please reach out to us either through Facebook, Instagram, emailing us, or just text messaging us. All of our contact information is always available to you guys, because remember, these videos are based off questions you tell us you want to learn more about. We can only obviously give you guys so much information update-wise when it comes to us, because we don't see updates every single day. And so for us, we really want you guys to think about what are the top things in real estate you want to learn more about. If a career is right for you as well, let's talk about that too, because there's always the binding question of real estate this, real estate that. So whatever kind of questions you guys have, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll see you guys all next time.
Have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.